Hello guys, I know what you're thinking, he's making another video, but if you haven't if you haven't seen the title already, basically this is just a talk about my story with me dislocating my left knee a year on to this day actually, and I wanted to share with you said story and see how it's affected my life from the moment that I dislocated it to the paramedics arriving, the treatment afterwards, how it's affected my current style of training, and finally like the mental side of it. So that's just a little rundown of what you're going to get today, pretty much. I thought the best way to show you this was to do it on a dog walk with little Smokey here. But basically I wanted to give you a little background at the moment. So last year I used to work for Salisbury FC, or Salisbury Football Club, as an apprentice, you know, just helping out cleaning the ground, helping out at games and stuff like that. And basically what it entailed, part of it was, so their football college didn't have enough people in it to to play a full game or team of 11, or they did, but they wouldn't have enough subs, and in training as well. So I used to help out in that respect. Come on, Smokey! 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 Oi! It's not listening. But yeah, I used to help out in that respect, and you know, whenever I could play a game with them, which was pretty much all the time because I really love football. And yeah, so basically how it happened was a year ago today, on the 23rd of January, me, Salisbury Football Club and everyone there, all their apprentices, all their college students and stuff, went to Yeovil to play like a private school. It was about 30 minutes outside Yeovil, so it wasn't quite Yeovil, but I remember it so clearly. So my natural position, and the position that I love the most in football, is playing left back, right back, well, you in anywhere in defence, you name it. That's my position, the thing I love the most. And I was the only sub in that game. So the first half I was a substitute, and I was supposed to come on in the second half, go right back or left back. It didn't really matter to me, because either way I enjoyed those positions. And basically our right winger got injured, Finn Lane, bless his heart. Heard he's got TikTok, but no, he got injured. So I think he injured his hand or something, I can't remember now. And so I stepped up, went right wing, much to my dismay. I really wanted to play in defence because that's where I shine the most. And that was just near the end of the first half, and it was going to be like you're going to be here for the rest of the game. So I was like, brilliant, great, just what I want. And so it's about playing the game. You know, I think I'm playing all right. Probably not the best because I feel uncomfortable and out of position. But you know, I think I'm playing fine. And then we go on the attack and then at this point the ball gets crossed in to me, and I'm running into the box at full pelt, trying to get onto the end of the ball that's just been crossed in, and I hit the ball towards the goal. So I kind of kick back it like that. It goes up in the air. So as you can probably tell, I'm not the most the best at kicking a football, but the ball basically goes up in the air towards the goal, and I'm like looking at the ball, following it up, making sure that it goes in, and I actually ended up, as I was following it up, I was looking at the ball, didn't see anyone around me, and then the goalie and the defender both came around me, and next thing I know, I am just in a world of pain. So my very first thought, I can remember it as clear as day, is, oh crap, I've broke my leg. But I was like, this can't be right. The pain's in my knee. And then it was probably in a matter of seconds, but it felt like a lifetime. I looked down, and it was the most disgusting sight I've ever seen. My kneecap was out of place, and it was not pleasant. It the pain was incomparable. I couldn't tell you what it felt like. It was the most pain I've ever felt in my life. And then, so obviously I'm in the goal at this moment. The goal just on me, and so they come in, lift the goal up, take it away. I'm just led on the floor, and it's the middle of January, so it's not exactly warm, and it's like 3:30 at night, or 3:30 in the afternoon. And you know, it's freezing cold, like much like today. The day I'm recording this on, it was only like 3 or 4 degrees. It was freezing, but it was nice and sunny, like today. So obviously I'm led on the floor, knee out. They're like, call the ambulance. They just tell, keep warm, we'll be there in about an hour tops. And you can probably already see where this is going. Come on, Smokey. But you can probably already see where this is going. So yeah, so I'm waiting there on the floor, blankets on me, like the space blankets, and massive foil blankets. I think I had 2 on me, loads of coats on me, and I was still cold. So half an hour goes by, and you know, they call them back. Oh yeah, we'll be here in, you know, pretty soon and whatnot. And then they call them back another half an hour later, because to me at this point the pain is becoming unbearable. Oh yeah, we'll be here soon. And then it turns out that about an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes later, the paramedics finally arrive. Nothing against the NHS, but you know, in a time of need, like something like that is so traumatic to someone, and I understand they've got other things, like, you know, people probably having heart attacks and whatnot, but to me, it was, at that time, it was the most traumatic thing I've ever experienced in my life. The pain was incomprehensible, and I just but I don't want to discourage what they do on a daily basis. You know, they're so busy, and what they give up over Christmas and everything is, you can't thank them enough. And but yeah, as I'm led on the floor, obviously, you know, 2 paramedics there, 1 male, 1 female. Female's lovely. The guy doesn't really talk, but the female is really lovely, and she I can't remember her name, but basically she, you know, I'm led on the floor, absolute pain. Obviously they give me this like laughing gas or nitrous oxide, takes away the pain, and obviously it makes you giggle a bit because it's a bit of a drug. So and then basically what they do, it doesn't hurt or anything, or not, at least to my knowledge, because of obviously the pain medication, as you'd like to call it. They put my knee back in place, and the worst part, probably close your ears, even though it wasn't painful, I could feel it move all that way, and it felt like it travelled a distance. Probably didn't, but it felt like it did. So yeah, it travelled all that way, and oh my god, was it painful? Well, it wasn't painful, but was it a weird feeling? Weirdest feeling I've ever felt in my entire lifetime. I had to break there. There's an elderly couple with their dog, and I didn't want my dog running off, so I had to put on the lead. So I'm just gonna quickly untie her. So yeah, so now we're at the stage, you know, knees back in place. It's what at that time I thought, oh, it's all good, it's cool, back in place, no worries. And then obviously they transport me to hospital. About half an hour. I thought it was going to be blue lights because I'd never really experienced something like this. No, it's not too serious. We would just be driving there like normal. And then my phone died at this point, so I used the paramedic's phone to call my dad. And yeah, it was awesome. She was really lovely, treated me so well. When I got in the car, or in the ambulance, my body temperature was 30, I think it was 34 degrees, and obviously like that's extremely cold for a human, and she was quite puzzled at how it got that low. But yeah, 34 degrees. By the time I got to hospital, I'd warmed up, so to 38, 37, 38, you know, normal human body temperature. But yeah, so going to hospital, you know, from that moment in, all the staff are lovely. I go into like a thing, the guy comes in, into like a room, this guy comes in and he's like, yeah, you know, I can see it's like that, we're gonna have to put you in for an x-ray, it seems okay at the moment, yada yada yada. And then I'm like rushed out the room because there's a guy with like something just sticking out of his eye. It was disgusting. So I'm like, yeah, just take me out, and he needs it more than me. And so obviously he's like, no, I'm waiting with my dad at this point because he's drove all the way from wherever he was, I can't even remember. But yeah, so we were at Yeovil Hospital, not Salisbury, Yeovil Hospital. So this is a good hour and 45 minutes away. But yeah, so I'm waiting for an hour for the x-ray, get my x-ray, he shows me it. I wish I kind of took pictures now so I could show you what it looked like fresh. So my kneecap, so obviously kneecap is normally like quite straight to the knee. It was slightly just bent out from where I'd injured all my ligaments and stuff. Then I'm waiting another hour, and then I get seen to, get given like a straight leg cast, which I'll show you a picture of myself smiling right now. It was the straight leg cast, what you just saw, for what I was in for 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks. But yeah, so I couldn't fault any of the NHS staff, they did an absolute job. The only thing that killed me was the wait for the ambulance, but other than that, they really professional and they did awesome. But yeah, and then following after that, I had a week later, I had another appointment after a week of like doing nothing, chilling at home, fucking acting like a spud. But yeah, so I had a week of being at home, putting ice on my knee to reduce the swelling, trying to move it, elevate it, and I'll actually show you how much it's swelled compared to my other knee, which, as you can see, that is completely swollen compared to the other one, and that was literally a day after it happened. But yeah, so a week goes by, I'm putting ice on it, swelling goes down quite dramatically, so I've been putting ice on it like 4 times a day, for like 20 minutes at a time. So I go to the hospital, meet this like knee specialist, didn't know they had those, and he basically tells me like, you know, after I've had an x-ray, he's like, yeah, your knee is in like in the perfect place, it's still slightly raised out, but that's what we expect, because obviously you've damaged the ligaments. So we don't know at this stage if you've torn any ligaments, you've partially torn them, or you've stretched them, or what you've actually done to them. So they took me to, or they booked me an MRI appointment, went there. Toby, I cannot thank you enough, he was just incredible throughout the entire thing. You know, probably he's my best friend, and he really stepped up. He took me to all my MRI appointments, took me to aftercare appointments, took me to physios when my parents weren't here, and it was just all round great. But yeah, so he took me to, I got taken to the MRI appointment by Toby. It's really weird, like you're sat in this like metal silo, and is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. And basically like, you're led in there, and it's it's weird. My knee was in there, and then it's just like really loud clanking. Mine was at only 20 minutes, so sometimes like you can be in there for 45 minutes to an hour. It really just depends on like how extreme it is. So I was only in there for 20 minutes, so I was quite lucky. And a week goes by and I didn't realise I had to book an appointment myself to get my results, so I thought they'd book it for me. So I didn't hear anything for a week, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting a bit annoyed at this. And he was like, oh no, you were told that you had to book an appointment yourself. And I was like, oh, brilliant, I can't believe I forgot about that. So book an appointment 3 days later, go in with my mum, and he's there like, yep, everything is like perfectly sound with your knee. All you've done is stretch your ligaments, you haven't torn anything anywhere. And I'm like, biggest sigh of relief. And he's basically like, we can take this straight leg splint off, and we can put this like bendable brace on. So I was like, fucking ace, this is awesome. I oh. And he's like, and you can also drive as well. So I was like, at that point, I was over the moon. So I hadn't driven for 2-3 weeks, and it was getting a bit boring. But yeah, so I started driving again. Really happy, over the moon. And yeah, and then I just started physio. Physio took about 3-4 months to like properly heal. So my knee wasn't... Smokey, where you going? So my knee took about 3 or 4 months to like properly heal. Pretty much back to where it was. But yeah, physio, and then I'll talk to you about the training side of it now. With my training, so when I did my knee, I obviously had 3 or 4 days off of the gym, did completely nothing, laid in bed like a spud. But after that I got really bored, because I'd gone from being really active, training like 9 times a week, to just nothing. So I couldn't stand it anymore. So I went to the gym, and they at CrossFit, they were really supportive, really helpful. They showed me loads of scaled movements I could do, and pretty much for 3-4 weeks it was literally me sitting down, doing bench press, doing shoulder press sitting down, med ball slam sitting down, anything that you could probably do standing up except squatting was sitting down. And that was my life for 3-4 weeks. And then I go to the physio, and they give me all these different things, like lying on the floor, bending your leg, going on like a bike that's designed to increase intensity as you press like the plus buttons. So I did that at CrossFit. They have like 2 or 3 of those bikes. So I did that, box step up, stuff like this. And it was all geared towards repairing my knee and whatnot. And then obviously as time went on and I got more and more comfortable, and my physio, Smokey, and my physio could see that I was, healing. Come on, let's get down this way. And my physio could see that I was healing. Yeah, she increased it up, and eventually it got to the stage where I was able to start running, and some of the stuff she showed me, like in terms of physio, I incorporated it into my normal workouts. Oh, Smokey's just seen a pheasant. Smokey, come here, oi. About that, she just seen a pheasant. But yeah, so basically she showed me a lot of stuff that I could incorporate into my normal workouts, make me feel, because my ultimate goal was to get back to where I was and make me feel ready, to do it all again, and to feel good in myself. So she showed me all these movements I could do to where are you going? Come here. She showed me all these movements, what I could do to incorporate into my workouts and stuff like that. And I've never felt better, I've just, at that stage, it was massive to me to go on a bike, and incorporate that into my workout. And yeah, it was a massive sigh of relief. And then obviously as the weeks go on, she ramps up the intensity. So now we're getting onto stuff like squatting with a little bit of weight, pistol squats and everything like that. And eventually, after 3 or 4 months of not really doing anything with my legs except step ups and squatting with like 5 kilo weights on me, and doing like loads of like glute activation and leg activation exercises, so I didn't degrade that much in my muscle. Because from that picture you saw earlier, you could see that my muscle was nowhere near as big as it was, and that was literally a day after, and my muscle degraded that much. But yeah, so yeah, I ramped it up, got back to finally training like I normally used to. When she told me I could run, that was it. There was no stopping me. But the thing she did tell me is you'd be very lucky if you get back to all your Olympic lifting. And probably what you've seen in my previous videos and on my social media pages is that I am heavy into my Olympic lifting. My Olympic lifting is increasing and getting better at this stage. So that point when she told me you probably won't be able to do it again, I was over the moon when I could clean 30 kilos. and now I'm cleaning 95 kilos like it's nothing, and it's great. But yeah, but other than that, it's like, you know, obviously something as traumatic as this has an impact on your training. And for me, the biggest impact is my depth on my squats is nowhere near as good as what it was. For some reason, like, my squat depth anymore, I'll show you a quick video in a minute of what it's like on my left side. But basically, if you've ever seen Olympic lifters, they are literally ass to grass. They are. You alright? You tired? But no, they are literally ass to grass, and it's incredible to watch, to be honest. It's really good how deep they actually go, and that was pretty much where I was at. I'll show you a quick snippet right now of like the depth that I'm talking about compared to what it is now in this little clip I'm about to show you. Is a far cry from what it is. And also in CrossFit, if you don't hit a certain depth, you don't get the rep. So I've worked very hard to get that depth, and you know, work my ass off essentially to get that flexion back in my knee, where it still isn't 100% to this day. Right there, my depth is horrendous. You know, it's nowhere near the greatest, and it never will be anymore, I don't think. I've been working extremely hard, even to this day, to get it deeper, and it is slowly getting deeper, but it's a hard grind. But yeah, I'm back to training normally. All my numbers at this moment in time are ever increasing. I'm PRing. Like my bench press literally last week, I've never hit 95 kilos for 5 reps, and I did it for 2 sets in the same workout. So I'm over the moon with stuff like that. So yeah, that's enough of my training. The final part that I want to talk about was the mental side of it, and how it affected me so mentally, because it was, to be honest, so mentally draining. So I'll give you an example. Like, after it happened, I felt useless, and I didn't want to eat. I didn't eat properly for about 3-4 weeks, and like I am now, like I was back then, just before it happened, you know, I'd eat 3,500 calories in a day like that, and it was so odd to me that I just didn't have that need, that compulsion to eat, and that really impacted on my weight, my strength and everything. And I lost a couple of kilos in terms of that respect. Smokey, come here, come here. No, she's going right there. But yeah, I lost a couple of kilos in that respect, and it was honestly awful. But enough of that one. You know, another side effect of it was, like, I just felt lost. You know, I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't focus anymore. I was really struggling in terms of things to do and stuff like that. Oh, I'm gonna need to bath Smokey. Oh, I can't get this thing. Hang on. I was really lost in what to do. And for me, it was a massive struggle. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, like nothing. And I sunk into a hole of just sitting there and doing nothing for weeks on end, until I eventually decided to just fuck it. Sorry about my language there, but one morning I woke up and I was like, I want to achieve my goals. I want to start my own business, and I'm going to strive to do everything I can to get that business. And yeah, I basically went to the gym that morning with a whole new mindset, whole new attitude, and yeah, I was really thankful that I woke up that morning like that. It must have just, I don't know what it was, and then it inspired me to create said YouTube channel, and, you know, learn how to code. And at that time I was like, I really want to do it, but I just couldn't. I didn't have that strength in me to do it, and I didn't feel like it was the right thing. And then literally about 3 or 4 months ago, I started learning HTML, CSS, and then within this last month or so, even though I've been reading books on JavaScript, I've never properly learnt it, and now I'm fully engaged in it, and now I'm learning how to program things. And like recently, literally the other day, I sat there for 3 hours. I thought it was only going to take an hour and a half, if that. I created a calculator with JavaScript, so I was quite proud of that. But that's basically that. It was just a quick talk, probably 20 minutes, which I hope this video is. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. And it's something a bit different. I know I haven't recorded in a couple of weeks, and I haven't really posted in a couple of weeks. But I just wanted to create this video to show you something that's probably not happened to a lot of us, but how it's affected me to this day. So thank you for watching if you've made it to the end of the video. So I really do hope you enjoyed it. All I ask is you just go like and subscribe it. It's great. But anyway, I'm home, so peace out.